Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm going to share with you the weekly news. The first one is The Verge. The title is iHeartRadio is trying out a Fortnite Metaverse concert arena. So, and this news was written. This news was written by Jess W. And the interesting thing about this news is that it's like in Fortnite they create a playground and there's a plaza and iHeart and State Farm. It's very interesting that all the big companies they kind of gather together and in the center there's a plaza. iHeart is going to create a concert for Charles Parth. His concert and the interesting thing is that to compare with, before we talked about Ariana Grande, right? He had a kind of digitized avatar and inside the 3D space, right? Digital avatar. But in Fortnite, this time, Charles Puth will be recorded 2D videos in the center of this plaza. So yeah, and the interesting thing is that they are creating a, like kind of like a play to earn game, and then and you can get like a little gold right while you do the small games. Once you accumulate enough small gold or gold coins, and you can do like exchange of emojis or some interesting things, for example like emoji and let's see some interesting unlock or some interesting stuff inside Fortnite. So what I think this is very interesting. Yeah, you see like inside this park, it's called State Farm Park. And I think Charlie Puth, his concert will be 2D video inside here, and there will be some mini games there as well. So those mini games will include car racing, obstacle course, and some building game stuff. So so you will earn gold currency. And iHeartland will release these types of gold currency for people to play and earn. And later on, you will get some exclusive uh, um, stuff from Fortnite. So I think this is a very interesting concept. And I mean, and you can see like they are promoting Charlie Puth's new upcoming album in 2D videos. I think the interesting thing about it is that before Ariana Grande was a 3D avatar inside the space and interacted with fans, but now it becomes 2D videos. I was thinking about what's the difference between the 2D videos and the 3D avatars. I think the difference is that 2D videos you can see the real person, you can feel the real person, even though it's 2D. But 3D it's more like you feel like you are very close to that person. However, that person doesn't really look like that person. It's more cartoonish. So there's a trade-off. I think it's all good. I think it's kind of what should I say? It's more like a, a, a experimental events that testing out whether 2D avatar as a real singer interaction is better, or 2D videos in the center of the plaza for people to watch is better. So it's very interesting. And according to the data before Ariana Grande's Fortnite concert, there were a lot of unique users, like 27.7 million unique users to join that Ariana Grande's Fortnite concert. So yeah, so September 9th, we don't know how many people will attend, but I think it's very interesting to see like some popular singers, they release their new albums inside Fortnite. So yeah, any thoughts, comments on the news? Feel free to
So
unmute yourself. Yeah.
are they shooting him virtually against a green screen? Is that the idea?
I think it's more like yeah, it's pre-recorded concert, so it didn't expect a live performance. So I would say it's more like imagine inside this plaza, there's a canvas. It's like you watch like driving movie theater, right? And
Okay.
there's a canvas, and there will be things playing, and you can walk around and you just
So
watch that
so
canvas.
they're shooting him in a studio or something like
I
that.
think so.
Uh, and they're not trying to incorporate the background of the environment, the virtual environment.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
pre-recorded.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the problems if you're trying to do this with avatars virtually,
Mm.
um, how do you sync up the lips and all that stuff when singing
You
is going?
can do it. You can do it. Actually, a lot of headset, you can do like the headset can kind of detect your lips right
How
now.
does that work?
Um, I I try some headsets, and when I talk, my lips is moving.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it somehow can detect, maybe, I don't know, some headset, it can detect your lips. And when you say something, your avatar will move along with your lips.
So does it look good, or does it look like an old Japanese horror movie or something that's poorly
Mm,
dubbed?
I wouldn't say it's perfect. It's not as good as, the 3D AAA games. Like
Uh-huh.
right now, if you see me, right, I have facial expression. I have like this. Probably I would say it's a little creepy. It's probably like more like this and this. Something creepy, but not. But somehow you can feel that person is talking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not perfect, mimic perfectly to our mouths, but there are some certain animations will make you feel like it's talking. It's
Yeah.
not just like no mouse like Hello Kitty, or some mouse is just decoration, but you can see something that you feel like that person is talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would say that, but for this event, it's more pre-recorded 2D video, so there won't be any problems. But I would say previously Ariana Grande or Justin Bieber or some other popular singers, when they become the 3D avatar inside the virtual space, usually, yeah, I haven't really watched, but I think they probably had a pretty nice tracking system, right? For example, like a motion capture suit to track their entire body motion. And then they can switch the size, become larger, smaller, So people from, it's like online multiple games. So you can be really close to Ariana Grande or something. It's just, that person just keep doing something, and there will be a lot of different server to sync the actual performance, and you will be inside different segment, but you all can see Ariana Grande very close to you and perform in front of you, and you can see other people and chill with other people. Yeah, it's like a god mode, right?
What I actually put the article on my other screen so I could read all of the tiny print.
Mm.
What I see is that it's like me when I go to a concert with my granddaughter.
Mm.
I don't even know who the band is, but they have all of these extracurricular activities outside and
Yeah.
food and parties, uh, and events that you can do, face painting and all this stuff. But what I see here, the opportunity is that even if I'm not crazy about this singer, this
Mm.
young kid,
Mm.
um, the activities, the race cars, the fun games, the fact that I can be in a race car game with my grandkids, in this virtual world, that I don't have to commit to all of the other music stuff, but I can do the social events. Also, I'm a State Farm insurance user, and I wouldn't be surprised if I start hitting this website that they send me, oh, here, because you're a State Farm insurance, here's a discount for a ticket, or something,
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
all leveraging and building that customer loyalty brand. And there's also something interesting if you go down 3/4 of the page where it says, if this flops, right here, both iHeart and State Farm are increasingly ready to adopt should the current iteration of flop. So, what if somebody has a party and nobody comes? So that's why I'm saying, if you just have a bunch of young kids are very fickle. But if you have other people around those kids, the grandparents, the sisters, the brothers, the cousins, and they come in and they're doing all this family stuff together, because Fortnite, that's what it is. My grandkids play Fortnite because that's how they hang with their friends, even though they can't with COVID, they were quarantined, they couldn't even go to school, but they could hang out in Fortnite. So I see that as kind of the big story here, not the fact that it's this singer. It could be any singer.
Yeah.
I would rather have Eric Clapton or some of my old vinyl stuff. I would pay big money for that. But what other games could we set up for them? Or even the old retro. A lot of the concerts I go to here are the old Grateful Dead and all that. They're trying to resurrect the old Fillmore acts, and some of them are their young grandkids playing, Jerry Garcia's music and stuff. So it's, to me, this is a big loyalty play. And the fact that you don't have to do it at the LA stadium or the big limited venues that are very expensive, and it's a one-shot deal. You can build up to it, and then afterwards you can have all of this memorabilia and keep adding to it with your NFTs or your gold coins, whatever they're calling. Or I attend so many and I get so many people to register, maybe I get a 10% discount on my insurance policy. Who knows? Or they'll push me to put my grandkids' insurance on the State Farm policy. They're going to squeeze money out of me some way, even if I don't pay for a ticket for a concert.
Yeah, definitely.
I think an interesting aspect of this is that supposedly one half of all teenagers have no interest in the metaverse, and they're catering directly to that market. So that's an interesting wrinkle in all this.
Yeah, I would say, I would say the
but
world.
They do have
Yeah, go ahead.
interest in Fortnite. I don't think they really, to them, they think, oh, State Farm, but if it's Fortnite related or like a Fortnite, then maybe they'll buy in. But see, I already have a brand recognition. iHeart is one, okay, and State Farm is the other. So how do they draw me and quote unquote my millennial family into this realm?
Yeah, I would think that it's less about metaverse, because we kind of think, I mean, everyone has different interpretation of metaverse, and metaverse is not a stranger things or definition. It's just the next generation of internet. If you think that way, it's just a 3D object inside the 2D. Or right now we see everything flat, right? It's like, you watch Harry Potter, right? I remember one time when I watched Harry Potter and the movie, and I saw, wow, the picture can move, right? You remember Harry Potter walk inside the school and all the pictures moving, or watch newspaper and all the stuff just start acting, right? Yeah, 3D or hologram comes out. Yeah, it's just like that. Like before, we think everything is 2D flat, and now everything start have lives and start acting. and people can start jumping in, and it's not 2D flat screen, it's a 3D dimension, and just like a Harry Potter thing. I don't know, it's for me, but if you put like a metaverse or like some acronym, something very sci-fi futuristic, it's really feels strange. But if you think that, oh, it's just internet, but everything flat, descriptive, like, when we read newspaper, it's just bunch of article and we need to read through. Instead of that, it's a maybe start with movie 2D and later on become 3D and start acting, and later on you can interact with your newspaper. And that's less words, but more, engagement. Yeah, that's what I see. And whether it calls metaverse or whatever, Web3, whatever, it's whatever other people want to call, but it's more, the interactive or, more engaging way of engaging with data or information. The next generation of internet. Yeah.
Personally, I would shoot what they're going to have as 2D videos. I would instead shoot them as 3D videos.
Yeah, I think holographic, right? Volumetric videos, right?
Well, or you don't even have to do that. I shoot 3D all the time. You just need two cameras, a left eye camera and a right eye camera. They have to be synced for the video. And then you could have the 3D content available, and you don't need avatars or any of that stuff. It's just regular 3D content, and it's available if somebody's got the viewing situation to view it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot more interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think 2D video, it feels like going back to the old time, right? You project things on the canvas.
You might say, well, if I'm gonna watch a 2D video,
and it's pre-recorded,
yeah,
pre-recorded, it feels so outdated.
Yeah.
I feel like Ariana Grande or Justin Bieber, their concert, they are real person, and digital avatar. I feel like it's more creative. This live event, it feels it's kind of going back. Yeah, cool. Next one is on Forbes. The title is called Metaverse Company Skirts Stock Market Abyss to Take Roblox Users Down VMA's Virtual Red Carpet. So it's the MTV Video Music Awards, right? They have, kind of like some interesting stuff happening inside, Metaverse. So I think it's very interesting. A lot of events start having, start hosting their events inside so-called Metaverse, right? So I would say, Metaverse, this word is being used and nobody really know what's the real meaning. And my definition will be, the next generation of internet, right? So the VMA experience in Roblox in the week before Sunday. So it's interesting that, before we talked about Fortnite, now Roblox, they have another event. And the interesting thing is that a lot of people will like to take photos, right? Inside this types of experience. And so Roblox, Microsoft, by that time, they will have millions of users, avatars, playing, creating, shopping together inside the Metaverse, right? So what I think about, this types of event, and of course they want to kind of start selling those stock. This stock is called Abyss. The stock has been on the roller coaster ride since Wall Street bets inside this. When it's just like a lot of people start monetizing and start putting a lot of creativity inside this, and there's a stock to focus on this types of events and also Metaverse. So I think, so right now the stock, it seems like start getting attraction and start getting, people's, people start notice these types of stocks, right? So and some people are worried about, maybe like I bought Ethereum, and every day I see the price is either going really high, rocket high, or go really low. Like today, if I look at that, it's really low just because there are some news regarding to some bad news about cryptocurrency. So I would say in this types of metaverse or more virtual economy, it's still in the hyper and lower. So sometimes, um, you know, um, yeah, you might get lost, lose money just because a lot of people think this is diluted, right? So, but I think overall, the entire internet will go to the more immersive way, just like Harry Potter's, newsletter or news, right? Newspaper. You can see a lot of 3D stuff jump out the newsletter. So I know according to the news, it talks about more like people start thinking about whether this is the next generation or not. But I would say that, this is a pretty cool way of integrating the reality and virtual and being more immersive. Any thoughts and comments?
I'd like to comment that Roblox, to me, because I've gone onto the site, and if you have an education email, you can log in for free and get their software to develop a game. Okay. And since I'm not a student, I didn't, but my grandson is playing with this stuff. And all of this, and this is all kids, age 13 and all this. So again, wearing my regulatory hat, hey, this all sounds well and good, but what are the security things? Are they going to be taking data from these kids and selling it to third parties, et cetera, et cetera? And this to me says danger, Will Robinson, because I think the government bodies and the parents are pushing back and saying, ain't gonna happen,
I totally think that the big tech can definitely get all the data, because just imagine in 2D, right? 2D app, if you close it, it couldn't really get the data. But if you are inside that area, even when you raise your hand, the angle, all the dots, right, it will sync back, and the data is syncing very fast, because when you move your hand, you need to see your avatar change, right? And you can pretty much record the entire movement, the entire behaviors inside the virtual space by the server.
Well,
right?
well, I'm thinking of the child's name, their age, their sex, the location, what worlds they hang out to. These are where predators want that stuff, and also, just, do we want to turn these kids into materialistic shoppers at the age of 13? They just want to play games.
Right,
they don't want to be bombarded with a bunch of NFT sales.
We are a bag of data, right? We are just a bag of data.
Right, and that's where I'm concerned, and the fact that these guys lost money on Bitcoin and all this other Ethereum and all this other stuff. They're trying to make up their losses by, to me, creating materialism in a bunch of innocent tweeners, So I would put my foot down on this immediately.
I mean, I would say, if the real world problem is not solving, then if we migrate to the digital world, all the bad thing will be amplified. It will go bigger. Will not. That's
what I'm saying. I would rather invest my time and money with this fellow Steve Darcy, who is using
Mm,
superheroes and things to educate kids, on the
mm,
periodic tables and math and
yeah.
anatomy and all of this
Mm.
stuff, rather than these stupid little games where you just do shoot them up every day.
Yeah, I feel so sad if, and those stuff is just stimulate your pleasure part, and it's never trying to increase your knowledge or something, and a lot of stuff is kind of wasting your time though. Yeah, what I perceive is that it's cool that a lot of people can use their imaginations. For example, MTV, their music awards, they can be in Roblox, and everything you see, like it looks like a Mars and a lot of imagination stuff. It's kind of enhancement, but if you want to trying to, it's like you set up a system, right? Are you the person who are more like a branding or a company angle to set up or enhance your brand, or versus you are the consumer and just being trapped and just keep doing things that the company wants in order to earn some stupid coins and get some stupid upgrade your emojis, right? And all those things at the end is all digitized, and people can take away. Like for example, the government can freeze your account, right? Versus, the big tech can kick you out of the platform, and whatever you're trying to accumulate in that virtual space will be gone. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of things, yeah, it's just switched to the virtual world, and the virtual world is even not as concrete as the real world. Real world, at least I buy a coffee and I can drink it, right? But in virtual world, if you buy a coffee, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
You
It
get an
feel, yeah,
NFT of a pretty Starbucks mug, that's your coffee.
yeah,
Yeah, but
right.
this is all experimental. My only
Mm,
concern is that experimenting with kids,
yeah, yeah.
and how there'll always be bad actors, in
Mm,
spite of the intentions, and there really
yeah.
has to be some ground rules on the privacy and security that
Mm,
they're opt out options, or don't
mm,
give it at all, or de-identify, uh,
mm,
so that these predators and
mm,
people aren't harmed.
mm.
And these guys are just throwing it out there way ahead of what the regulatory people are able to catch up. But parents have to make that decision. I freeze my credit cards when my kids come over, because instead of having my wallets there on Amazon and all that, they're buying stuff. They don't realize that these are triggering things,
Yeah,
and I will see $2 or $3 charges on my credit cards when they're playing games, because you want to have more weapons, you want to do this, you want to do that, and it's just bing, bing, bing,
yeah,
going through my
right,
account.
right,
And
right.
this
Those
is okay, I
types of
can
things.
afford it, but if I'm a mother of 6 and working 3 jobs, I don't think so.
Yeah, right, right. So this is kind of something, I don't know. It's going to the next generation, right? And it will, just like a TikTok, they want to make kids get more engagement, and kids couldn't. Sometimes they don't have the you know kind of like the restriction, or they don't know what they are doing, and if I don't know, if they if they get into the game and they just start or addict to that, and people will make it more addictive, right? So they just keep doing that. Or, if we can make this virtual world a little better, right? And at least, they can learn something, or they can be better person, right? So yeah, well, everything is still experiment, and it depends on what part you see. For example, for companies, they want to leverage their events, they want to be creative and attract more people. So as for marketer companies point of view, they love this extra imaginary territory, right? But for parents, they probably, kids, they are already in those platforms. And at the beginning, people just think, oh, it's cool. They hang out with their friends and there are some small games they can play. But if, all those business person, they start getting in and make kids even more addicted, and then they get more data. Who knows what those business person will do with those data, right? And data will be the most valuable things in the future, because if someone took my data and they can use my data to do a lot of bad things over internet, and I will not knowing what's going on, but a lot of things just happen. So it's still pros and cons. And then kids, poor kids. I don't know. Hopefully there's a way to solve it. But but it seems like the trend, right? But think a good way, right? Kids, they are probably not as as the novel kids as we thought before. They are like little adults, right? So hopefully, there's a way for maybe human can evolve, right?
I can imagine the next gal who wants to be Taylor Swift being up here and singing her songs and having her avatar. But my point is, and that would be good, but is that only viewable to her and her contacts, her family, or is it available to everybody on the planet who then, some guy in Timbuktu wants to go and say, hey, I'm a movie director. Why don't you come over and meet me on the beach in Santa Monica Pier? And then boom, she's gone. She's kidnapped. That's the stuff that scares me.
There are a lot of like the fraud or human traffic using all the internet and present themselves as this already happened in the real world, and I don't think it will be better in the virtual world, since avatar, right? If you need to meet a person, if you get into the immersive world, there are a lot of things you can hide. Your name you can hide, your physical appearance you can hide, right? And once you are hidden from the fake avatar and you talk differently, right? And there are a lot of things would happen. If we keep talking about good and bad, I would say, it's just more amplified for the real world. If something we are not solving in the real world, it will be taken to the virtual world and even amplified, because everyone can be anonymous, right? And the people who host or who create the kingdom of virtual world will be more like the governor, right? And current governor, we are trying to, vote them, and they are real people, right? And they are not doing good job, right? We all know that. However, do you think it will be better to hand over the governor's job to the big tech or some companies? Do you think if government not really taking care of our data or our rights, do you think
the
other
technology is moving faster than the regulatory? But the fact that the federal government and where I work, the state of California, they are calling the shots on what the big tech companies should or should not do. That's why they have Meta and Google and Apple on the ropes, calling them on certain things. And then the new laws that you see around the world to protect kids because of the trafficking and that's going on. But the technology moves much quicker. They're trying to address TikTok. This is far more than TikTok,
TikTok is, swiping, but when you close
and even like the whistleblower, TikTok, they said this guy that filed the lawsuit against TikTok, who was the security officer, says, hey, there's hinky stuff going on here. Instead of fixing it, they fired him, and now, he's trying to be a whistleblower. So this is what concerns me. If you can't figure it out for TikTok, how the hell are you going to figure this out for Roblox,
I think a lot of stuff just go wild. And then, and kids couldn't resist a lot of things, right? Some excitement or some addiction, some games they couldn't resist. They are too young. So, we are just piece of meat or a bag of data.
No, you're a revenue source. This is all about money again. This is
Yeah,
stock prices. I mean, every other word is ka-ching, ka-ching, dollars, dollars.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, hopefully, I mean, for the brand or company's perspective, this is great. You get territories, you explore a new audience, right? But for other side of the coin, yeah, and nobody's kind of addressed that part because that part is not exciting, and that part will raise up a lot of anxiety for parents, right? So nobody likes to address that, but I would say it's still too early. Let's see what will happen if something happen. It feels like we don't do precaution. We always wait until there's something happen, then we try to solve. So yeah. So if there's something happen, then the government probably will start slowly know what's going on. What's the Roblox, right? They will slowly understand what's going on here. Yeah. So that's what I learned. Okay, so another news is on the metaverse in the next 2 years and beyond. And the news is on Decrypt.code. So yeah, so in this article, it talks about pretty much we all think that this will coming up pretty soon. And I think this is a very interesting company called Caduceus. Caduceus is pretty much just, in short, it's a 3D, like Instagram in 3D. So they are trying to create a very cool 3D types of social media, and everything is kind of decentralized. But just think about Instagram, but in 3D. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting ways of doing things. It seems like they are trying to create a new social media, right? Something very similar to what social media companies trying to do, but they are doing more like they are giving designers and creator a tool to create what they want to do. So just think Instagram in 3D, and um, I look up their Twitter. If you go here, right? Yeah. So pretty much, I would say they have the world's first blockchain, the active metaverse development. So instead of centralized, they do like a decentralized, but more for more for the kind of trying to for people to create a metaverse but decentralized. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty cool concept, and I saw some of their art. It's very cool, right? It's something like this, and yeah. So if you see the videos, you can see they are trying to create a world that everything is decentralized. Yeah. So yeah. Any thoughts, comments?
Well, I'll be interested in looking into this.
Mm.
When they say 3D, I assume they're not talking about stereographic 3D, where each eye sees something different. They just seem to be talking about 3D models and stuff. There have been various like versions of Instagram for 3D, and Instagram itself has those, or maybe it's Facebook, has those pictures where it's rotating back and forth. They take a bunch of views of an object and then rotate it through the different angles of views to make it look like 3D. So anyways, I'll be interested in looking into this.
Yeah. So yeah. Any other thoughts, Emily?
Well, again, this is the infrastructure. I'm wearing my green ecology. Is
Yeah,
how we're going to
when
produce enough energy and bandwidth to support this? Is it sustainable? The old play. So,
Yeah.
if they're doing other things to offset that, or using better, more reliable technology that doesn't burn through the planet, then I'm for it. So again, I'm just trying to do the other side,
Well, there's a development about this, specifically about this with Ethereum. I don't know if you've read about the
I
Ethereum
don't know.
merge?
Yeah, no,
Ethereum.
I'm keeping it up, but saying it and doing it are two different things until I can put it in my hot little hands, you know, but it's on the chalkboard.
Well,
This
it's
one,
there. Let's see. I've got
the merge.
yeah, the Ethereum merge. Let's see. I thought I had an article open for it.
But they've been,
Yeah.
I've heard that term for 5 years.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, but they're just doing it right now. Can
Yeah.
I do a screen share?
Screen share. This one. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Is it okay if I do a screen share?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can share.
Google Chrome. Share. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
are you seeing it?
Yes, yes.
So this is darn it, they always put the control bar right in front of my tabs. I've been reading a little bit about this. They're changing so that they're not going to be mining Ethereum anymore.
Oh, so
basically-
they will be more limited, right?
Well, the way they'll work it is to do blockchain verification of transactions. That's how you will essentially gain more Ethereum coins. You won't be mining anymore. So it requires a lot less energy.
Mm.
And that has sort of shaken people up. Let's see if I can move this window around because it's always putting the okay, let's try this. Here's the Ethereum price chart.
Yeah,
That's it again.
when
So
I
I think-
bought it, it was like a 1600. Now it become 1400.
Yeah, so it's been bouncing around quite a bit. There's a big question as to whether this is going to affect their, how is this going to affect Ethereum? But the idea is to get away from spending a lot of energy on Ethereum mining. So anyways, that's interesting. It's still, look at the variations in this. My God, it's
Yeah, when it went to like 4,000, I was like, wow. But it just start going down. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, the amount of money that you have can fluctuate.
Yeah. Yeah. And very scary thing is that I remember I read a news which is Bitcoin's creator was dead, right? And a lot of, if you Google it, Bitcoin's creator dead.
Is he really dead?
I don't know if you want to Google it. I remember I just saw something and it was in my memory, but my memory might be wrong. But
that's an old ploy to dodge taxes. If I'm dead, you can't have it. You can't get it from me.
yeah,
He's probably hiding somewhere.
and it seems like there are tons of Bitcoins was frozen or something, just because he's no longer, those are no longer, I don't know, it's just frozen somewhere. And I don't know. I just think that a lot of things that's just happening, and there are some right information, and there are some, some good information, and some information that will make you panic. And I think we need to read both sides so we can be more balanced. Because if we only see the good side, then we are more being diluted, right? We just thought everything is good.
One of the things I thought was interesting is I was reading about the Ethereum merge. And what struck me is that it is just incredibly complicated. And I'm a programmer, I've got 3 degrees in engineering. And I just, when I see how complicated it is, I just wonder how much room is there for someone to hack it when you get things that are so complicated.
Quantum computer. I know quantum computer can function pretty quick, right?
Well, I have my own views on quantum computing, but even without that, I just wonder how, given how complicated this Ethereum merge is, these new procedures that they're going to use, I just wonder how many opportunities there are going to be for people to find a way to hack it. And
I think right now we probably couldn't figure things out, but later on might be a way.
Yeah.
It's just the time thing. Yeah.
Well, this is why I think cybersecurity and cyber warfare is such a big deal, because it all is going to do that. we worry about the value of the dollar, but the dollar, we're off the gold standard. It's all digital. You know, I worked for electronic funds transfer at Canon Computers for 12 years, and it was, you know, transfer US dollars into other currencies and make money off the difference. So that's what they're doing with this play. But the fact that, you know, I know people who are being asked to already create hacks for this kind of stuff, ransomware, freezing assets, going after anyone, mortgage companies, or that want to play with Ethereum to get, you know, the real estate values frozen so that they own it. Say you have to pay us in US dollars, not Ethereum or Bitcoin, in US dollars, you know, 25 million to get release your Ethereum coins, you know. So this has me again terrified. And that's why I think part of the government infrastructure and part of the global banking, and Siemens, I work for Siemens, and they're a big bank. They just dabble in technology. These are the people that have to swallow this, and if they're going to play it, they have to fix it, you know.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is
and the
that,
other hidden bank is the Vatican. Okay. You know, the Catholic Church has been around since day one, and they have holding companies and banks everywhere. So they don't believe in this stuff. So I don't think it stands a chance if these big, you know, monolithic money systems don't buy into it and don't protect it.
I would kind of, I know there's like a believer and non-believer for Ethereum thing, but I do like the concept. It's probably like a communism, right? I don't know, like a long time ago, we think communism has a really good visions of everyone will be equally rich, but at the end it becomes equally poor. And you know, the person who govern the, you know, like Russian and China, they are more, you know, very scary. There's no human rights. What I'm worried about is that if we think something is utopian, like communism, and if we just jump in and later on we find out that, wow, actually, yeah, humans are not that perfect. There's always a lot of things you can play, right?
Well,
So,
one of the motivations for the Ethereum merge is to make it more decentralized.
Decentralized.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about decentralized, I feel like there's some connection between communism. Because communism is decentralized, but at the end it becomes so centralized. I don't know. It's just my 2 cents. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, well, that's why you have to look at the history and know where the mistakes are made and try and do it better and try and put the safeguards in, you know. But like I said, I've been hearing these debates and banking people and stock people and VCs. Oh, Ethereum's the way to go. And for 5 years, they've been trying to figure it out. So I'm just sitting on the sidelines saying, hey, all of the startups that I'm working with, all of my retirement accounts, they don't have a penny of Ethereum because I don't trust it and I don't think it's there. So I'm being skeptical. You know, I'd rather buy beachfront property in California and invest in that than this stuff.
Yeah. I would say I test out. I kind of spend 700 to buy, you know, Ethereum. I think, a little bit money.
But if that beachfront property is bought with Ethereum, that's where the rub comes in for me, you know.
Yeah. And Ethereum, I mean, it's a little dangerous. And for example, if you lose your wallet, or if you buy a real estate, you buy stuff in digital, like even NFT, right? What if the storage place for your NFT was gone? Or the company was bankruptcy or something, the owner took away or something, and you couldn't even get it back.
There have been cryptocurrency investment companies that have taken a lot of people's money, then gone bankrupt.
And right.
Taken it with them. So
so you know, even I remember Coinbase, right? Long time ago when Bitcoin was crashed, Coinbase just freeze the entire activity. So people couldn't take their money out. So it's kind of a little scary that, you know, it's like, so just be careful because it's pretty much outlaw state, but it's exciting. It's like gold rush, right? You don't know what's going on and you just have an adventure. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. And hopefully see you guys next week. And next week, I think Lafa Yang, she will postpone her event to October because currently I think she got, she got sick and she needs some time to recover. So yeah. Next week will be the news again. Yeah. So yeah, see you guys next week. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.